Let's say China.
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 China. China.
There are next door neighbors, and you can actually see Russia from land here in Alaska.
You go over to China.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Trump statement, tweeting out insults to Angela Merkel. What's he doing?
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host.
Hello, and welcome. I am James Andrews, and you are listening to So This Happened, the only news you need if you attended Donald Trump's rally last night, because we're going to do some fact-checking today. It's Wednesday, the 23rd of August, 2017. And before we jump in on Donald Trump's interesting rally last night, I do want to play a few words from the person who could have been president. You'll all remember that during the debate last year between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump sort of seemed a little bit creepy, for want of a better word. He was sort of looming behind her the whole time and sort of standing over her shoulder in a very aggressive pose. Well, Hillary came out today and addressed that, and here's what she said.
This is not okay, I thought. It was the second presidential debate, and Donald Trump was looming behind me. 2 days before, the world heard him brag about groping women. Now we were on a small stage, and no matter where I walked, he followed me closely, staring at me, making faces. It was incredibly uncomfortable. He was literally breathing down my neck. My skin crawled. It was one of those moments where you wish you could hit pause and ask everyone watching, well, what would you do? Do you stay calm, keep smiling, and carry on as if he weren't repeatedly invading your space? Or do you turn, look him in the eye, and say loudly and clearly, back up, you creep, get away from me. I know you love to intimidate women, but you can't intimidate me, so back up. I chose option A. I kept my cool, aided by a lifetime of dealing with difficult men trying to throw me off. I did, however, grip the microphone extra hard. I wonder, though, whether I should have chosen option B. It certainly would have been better TV. Maybe I have overlearned the lesson of staying calm, biting my tongue, digging my fingernails into a clenched fist, smiling all the while, determined to present a composed face to the world.
Well, there was Hillary Clinton, and I, for one, wish she had chose option A and just turned around to Donald and said, back the fuck up, you fucking creepy man. Back the fuck up. And she also said there that she grabbed the microphone extra hard, and it wasn't explicitly said, but reading between the lines, I'm pretty sure that she was saying she pretended it was Donald Trump's willy, and she squeezed it as hard as she fucking could. Well done, Hill. And thinking back to that debate, that really was the big thing the day after, wasn't it? You were sitting around with people just saying, my God, did you see him? It was so rapey. He was just sort of there behind her, you know, and you just expected him to go, Hillary Clinton, I'm going to skin you like a deer, and then I'm going to hang your head in the Oval Office, and then I'm going to eat your liver with a nice Chianti. And I'm glad that in her new memoir, which is where that was from, Hillary did address that, because it was a really creepy moment, and I really do wish she'd just turned around and let him have it. The outcome of the election may have been very different if she'd done that. People were too polite to Donald Trump. They just needed to turn to him and say, you're a fucking lunatic. What are you talking about? Say that again, because it made no sense. Nobody did that, did they? They all sort of went, yes, Donald, because I think everyone just thought he was a joke. But at the end there, I mean, in that debate with him and Hillary, he wasn't a joke. He was the Republican candidate, and she should have just let him have it. She really should. But hindsight is 2020, they always say. And now I want to talk about last night in Phoenix, where Donald Trump held one of his now infamous rallies, and this one was, like most of them, a stomach-churning, headache-inducing, nausea-creating, fact-ignoring mess like the other ones had. And it took me quite a lot of whiskey to get through it, but that's just the kind of person I am. I watched it, so you did not have to, and it really was quite hard to get through. It was either have another drink of whiskey, James, or throw the remote through the television. From the very opening, where they played that absolutely awful patriotic song, and you know the one I'm talking about, the "I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free," and I can't play it for you because there is nothing more American than suing the little guy, which they would almost certainly do if I played it and violated the copyright. But what we saw last night was one of the most jingoistic things I've ever seen in America. It was incredible, and I love America, don't get me wrong. I really love America, but the fake, cheesy, fucking patriotic bullshit that goes along with it, I absolutely hate that. I can't stand it. It is complete nonsense, and it makes me physically sick when I see that. And that's not just America, it's everywhere. In Britain, we never used to fly British flags all over the fucking place, and then recently that's become a trend. I think they sort of looked at America and said, oh look, everyone's got an American flag on his car there, he's wearing an American flag t-shirt, fucking flags everywhere. We've started to do that in England now. They've got the Union flags everywhere, and I hate that too. I don't like nationalism. I think it's just so pointless. You can't help where you were born. I mean, yeah, you can like where you live, you can love where you live, but you don't have to say we're the best country ever and everyone else sucks. That's just completely pointless. A ridiculous statement. Anyway, after the nauseating patriotism, Donald Trump launched right into his favourite topic of the day, which is, of course, the fake news media. In fact, he spent so long doing it, I was sort of just sitting there going, are you really just, what? You're just saying, what? I mean, I was doing a lot of that. What? Fuck you! What? Fuck! That was sort of me. But then he started telling the people, oh, look at them, CNN, they're turning it off. They're not live, they're not streaming us anymore. They don't want to hear what we're saying. But the problem was, I and millions of other people were watching it on CNN while Donald Trump's telling his supporters, oh, CNN just turned us off. They're not showing us anymore because they are fake news. Well, that was bullshit, because everybody was watching it on CNN, NBC, MSNBC, wherever it was. Nobody fucking turned him off. And because I had to suffer through almost an hour and a half of it, I'm afraid you are going to have to suffer through just a little bit of it. So let's have a listen in to the president beating up the news media, which incidentally I feel is a very dangerous thing to do. As soon as you start tying the hands of the press and saying they're all evil and fake, you are leaving the door open to only one news source, and that is you, the president. And that's a play directly out of the Dictator for Beginners handbook. You discredit the press so that the people won't listen to what they're saying, and the only place they can get their news is from you, the dictator/president. Anyway, here is Donald.
If you're reading a story about somebody, you don't know. You assume it's honest because it's like the failing New York Times, which is like so bad. It's so bad. Or the Washington Post, which I call a lobbying tool for Amazon. Okay, that's a lobbying tool for Amazon. Or CNN, which is so bad and so pathetic, and their ratings are going down. Right?
I'm just going to stop it right there. You can hear them, the crowd chanting, CNN sucks, CNN sucks. So, well done, Donald. You have completed, well, one thing, I suppose, as president. You've made your supporters hate the press. Anyway, I'm going to torture you and make you listen to some more of this.
But all the network, I mean, CNN is really bad, but ABC this morning. I don't watch it much, but I'm watching in the morning. And they have little George Stephanopoulos talking to Nikki Haley, right? Little George. And he talks about the speech I made last night, which, believe it or not, got great reviews, right? They had a hard time. They were having a hard time because it was with soldiers. We were somber, we were truthful, we were saying things, and it really did. So he talked about it for like that much. Then he goes, let's get back to Charlottesville. Charlottesville. And Nikki was great. She's doing a great job, by the way. So now, I say we have to heal our wounds and the wounds of our country. I love the people of our country. The people, all of the people. It says, I love all of the people of our country. I didn't say I love you because you're black, or I love you because you're white, or I love you because you're from Japan.
Well, he didn't say China, at least. But so you can see already, I mean, this is, 10, 15 minutes into the speech, and he's not said anything except criticize the press. The next thing he did was, well, something of a controversy. He essentially said that, yes, I'm going to pardon Sheriff Joe. And, well, here's how he said that.
By the way, I'm just curious. Do the people in this room like Sheriff Joe?
So this is a perfect example of last night. This was a massive massage of Donald Trump's ego. He's just sitting there smiling like the cat that got the cream, listening to all these people cheering for him. He loves it. Sad.
So, was Sheriff Joe convicted for doing his job? That's what... He should have had a jury, but you know what? I'll make a prediction. I think he's going to be just fine, okay?
So there's the prayers basically saying, yeah, I'm going to pardon him, don't worry about it, it's coming. Well, next he launched into another one of his favourite topics, and this was inspiring hate against immigrants, and that really is the only way I can put it. He went on and just said some horrible things that really just aren't true. If you look at the statistics, what he's talking about is nonsense. But he loves saying it because it gets a massive cheer from the crowd when he talks about the animals that have come over from Mexico and fucked this country up the arse.
The lost lives, the drugs, the gangs, the cartels, the crisis of smuggling and trafficking. MS-13, we're throwing them out so fast, they never got thrown out of anything like this. We are liberating towns out on Long Island. We're liberating. Can you imagine in this day and age, in this country, we are liberating towns. This is like from a different age. We are taking these people. They don't shoot people because it's too fast and not painful. They cut them up into little pieces. These are animals. We are getting them out of here. We're throwing them in jails and we're throwing them out of the country. We're liberating our towns.
Okay, so there's Donald just talking about liberating American towns, which is horse shit. Complete and utter. And I want to play a little bit more of the speech, and I'm sensitive to the fact that we are running out of time, and we're going to run over a little bit with this next bit I play. But I do want to play it, and if you want to watch the entire thing, you can go to YouTube and find it if you have the stomach for it. But it really will. It really made me feel sick to my stomach. And I'm not just saying that for shock value. I literally had a knot in my stomach listening to this, particularly when the crowd would just start chanting, Trump, 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 Trump. It's unlike anything I've ever seen since watching old newsreels of some European country in the late 30s. Anyway, I'm going to go out with Donald Trump saying one last attack on the media.
Jenny!
And this is an interesting one because he goes on to say, they're dishonest. They don't say what I say. They're saying I'm racist. But here is what I said. And the problem is he left out the part that made him racist. The whole, there were good people on both sides. He neglected to mention that entirely. So thanks very much for listening, and we'll chat again tomorrow, and I will let you enjoy the president for a little bit longer. And I apologize, but I suffered through it, so God damn it, you're going to suffer through just a little bit of it. All right, good night.
So and I mean truly dishonest people in the media and the fake media, they make up stories. They have no sources in many cases. They say a source says there is no such thing, but they don't report the facts. Just like they don't want to report that I spoke out forcefully against hatred, bigotry, and violence, and strongly condemned the neo-Nazis, the white supremacists, and the KKK. I openly called for unity, healing, and love, and they know it because they were all there. So what I did is I thought I'd take just a second, and I'm really doing this more than anything else, because you know where my heart is, okay? I'm really doing this to show you how damn dishonest these people are. So here is my first statement when I heard about Charlottesville. And I have a home in Charlottesville. A lot of people don't know. Here's the first. Can't believe they haven't figured that one out yet. Now they know. Now they finally know. But I don't want to bore you with this, but it shows you how dishonest they are. And most of you know this anyway. So here's what I said, really fast. Here's what I said on Saturday. We're closely following the terrible events unfolding in Charlottesville, Virginia. This is me speaking. We condemn in the strongest possible terms this egregious display of hatred, bigotry, and violence. That's me speaking on Saturday, right after the event. So I'm condemning the strongest possible terms, egregious display, hatred, bigotry, and violence. Okay, I think you can't do much better, right? Okay, but they didn't want to put this on. They had it on initially, but then when they talked, he didn't say it fast enough. He didn't do it on time. Why did it take a day? He must be a racist. It took a day. Dishonest people. So here is me. I hope they're showing how many people are in this room, but they won't. They don't even do that. The only time they show the crowds is when there's a disruptor or an anarchist in the room. I call them anarchists. Because believe me, we have plenty of anarchists. They don't want to talk about the anarchists. So this is me. It has no place in America. I'm talking about hatred, bigotry, and violence. It has no place in America. What is vital now is a swift restoration of law and order and the protection of innocent lives. No citizen should ever fear for their safety, security in our society, and no child should ever be afraid to go outside and play or be with their parents and have a good time. This is me speaking. Here's further. This is on Saturday, the first one. I did this 3 times. We have to come together as Americans with love for the nation and true affection.
No, I'm sorry, I can't do it to you. I'm not going to play anymore. We're massively over time anyway, and It was all just awful, nauseating, and I believe it really showed Donald Trump to be a massively unstable person who is just really not fit to be the president of the United States. And on that, we'll do it again tomorrow. All right, cheers. Bye-bye.